I think more and more consumers now are making purchase decisions based on brands that align with their values, their beliefs, so on and so forth. And that's the brand, right? Like, and that's the perception of who you are as an organization, and then that leads to the lower funnel metrics.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Ad Podcast, coming to you from the Possible Show here in Miami. And we've got Kerel Cooper, the CMO of MarketCast, here to chat with us a little bit about what he's been up to this week. Kerel, thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
man.
Thanks for having me, Dylan. It's great to meet you.
So for those who might not be familiar with MarketCast,
Yeah,
do you want to give a little bit of plug and
Absolutely.
what you guys have been up to this week?
Yeah, absolutely. So for those of you who are not familiar with MarketCast, we are a marketing effectiveness company that helps brands truly understand what's connecting with their audiences and what's driving business results. And we do that across sponsorship, brand lift, content, and advanced analytics. And we do that through a suite of products that we have that focuses on measurement and insights.
Okay, interesting. So would you consider yourself like a traditional, like with brand lift studies and, effectiveness studies, surveys? Like, is that your primary instrument?
So helping brands understand when they're running advertising across linear, across social, across online video. Is their audience remembering their ad?
Do you use surveys mainly as the
We do use
instrument?
surveys,
Okay, cool, awesome. So be curious, in the world of AI, how is measurement for creative effectiveness and brand lift and some of these things? Is it becoming easier to recruit, or is it still a lot of the old-fashioned, you got to expose control group and then the other group of people that didn't see it measure between the two groups? But how is AI making your life simpler
so
these days?
I think it's where we're leaning in from an AI perspective is more about sort of like delivery and speed of delivery of information back to our customers, right?
So you're able to
that's where we're
synthesize the
focused on it.
results, and essentially, I remember, doing brand lift studies to media buys and stuff like that, and then at the end of the day, you'd get a deck of a bunch of information that was sometimes hard to contextualize. Now, are you giving people kind of, an agentic workflow where they can actually ask questions of the results and understand how things are going
so
for
we
them?
have we have a platform where people can log in and again really see memorability, likability, how people are reacting to their advertising, again across those three platforms that I said earlier: linear, OLV, social, and also have the ability to help people like understand the data more. It's just not about giving them the data, but like help them understand the data.
Interesting.
As well.
Are you guys experimenting all with this new idea of the synthetic audience? The idea that you can take like you guys have probably reams and reams of data of people who've taken surveys, who've responded. You probably know a lot about them. Are able to turn those survey respondents into digital twins, as they call them, and use your data as a way to synthesize a real audience. And
we're certainly looking at all the different possibilities of how we can leverage AI. I think for us, where our conversations continue to be internally, is that we want to make sure that the data and the insights that we're providing back to our customers is real and based off of real people and not fabricated.
Yeah, interesting. No, I like that. Yeah, obviously there's still a human element.
Because
consumers want to understand.
At the end of the day,
they're the ones who can spend money and have an impact,
right. Because at the end of the day, the way we think about it is all brands have like one thing in common, and that is how do they move people through their advertising. And what I mean by that is moving people to buy something, sign up for something, experience, consider,
have a feeling.
And what's most important in that is how are you driving an emotional connection through your advertising? And I just don't think that AI can replace a human emotional connection.
Yeah, that's a good insight.
Because if you think about it, right, like yes, there's research and insights that we can provide by doing what we call like in the lab, so like focus groups, right? But then there's also, to me, what's more important is what we call the sort of like in the wild, right? So that means like natural exposure, right? You're watching your favorite TV show, an ad comes on the TV. What happens when an ad comes on a TV, right? Are you giving yourself 100% attention to that ad?
Yeah.
No. You're probably going to pick up your phone, scroll. Yeah, doing something else, right?
Viewing,
so yeah,
viewers
right.
in the room.
And I just don't think that AI can replicate the
human
insights
behavior,
of human behavior from that perspective.
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Are you thinking about measuring new channels, such as like digital out of home and some of these places where you can get more exposure, more measurement out of things that were harder to measure before?
Yeah, I think we are always looking at, how do we continue to provide great services for our customers, which are brands, and that is sometimes thinking about, okay, do we expand to different platforms, or do we just kind of continue to stay where we're at today? So it's always a conversation. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So as a CMO, what do you do to stand out at an event like Possible, and how important is Possible now to the marketing calendar?
Yeah, so I think, so this is my third Possible. I know
Nice.
Possible's 4 years old.
Yeah.
And I've seen this event grow from 3,500
crazy,
people to
right?
like over 7,000 people. And as a B2B marketer, right, it gets harder and harder to stand out in a place like this. It's great. It's great to be here, right? It's great to be here, but in order to stand out, you got to spend a ton of money, right? And you got to probably do some off-the-wall type stuff. So for us, when we come to events like this, it's really sort of like focused on who are the customers we want to meet with, who are the prospects we want to meet with, who are the partners we want to meet with. Yeah, so we have a very like focused goal in large events like this. Now, when we look at sort of some of like smaller, more intimate events, then that's where I think, we can get a larger share of voice and maybe invest a little bit deeper. So as a CMO, I think about like that from a strategy standpoint, the large events versus the small ones.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you think about stuff like Possible as an opportunity for you to create content, thought leadership, push stuff out to the people? Obviously, there's a lot of people paying attention to Possible that can't actually come.
Right.
So it's a great opportunity to kind of get your messaging out in a moment where everybody's looking for, they want to stay up to date with the thinking from Possible. It's a good opportunity.
It's a good opportunity to create our own content in events like this. It's a good opportunity to be on podcasts like this as well too.
PR,
so I'm, as a CMO, I'm really big on content marketing. I think that that content gives you legs, right? You can use it over and over again, and you can promote your brand, you can promote your products and services. So content's super important.
Awesome.
Yep.
From a thought leader perspective, were you able to do any speaking, anything like that this week? You and the teams?
Nothing on a stage, if you will, but again, a lot of interviews like this, which I think have just as much of an impact as being on the big stage.
100%.
Yeah.
So, what types of tools do you guys have? Any kind of free tools or freemium models where people can kind of come in and enter in some information about their brand, learn a little bit of insights, and then kind of get into your funnel? I know that's a big trend, is people giving away kind of a taste of their offering through some type of platform, or put in your brand and we'll give you a score, or give you a little bit of insights. And with AI now, you can almost automate some of those processes.
Right. So we don't have anything like that today. But to your point, I look at something like that as an opportunity for us to kind of grow our business and create more awareness in the marketplace. What we do a lot of is when we have new products that we're bringing to the market, we will offer, an alpha or beta to our existing customers to kind of get ahead of things and help us, and help us like really shape that product and product roadmap. But you bring up a good point. I'm actually going to take that back to the team.
Let's go. Any thought leadership, any panels, conversations, opportunities that you got to sit in on this week, or conversations with customers that you thought were insightful that you're going to be bringing back to the teams to implement?
Yeah. So what's interesting about this, and I was telling someone this earlier, it's been so busy with meetings like this and other meetings that I've actually haven't had a chance to sit on any content yet.
Yep.
Right.
The blessing and the curse of having
the
a busy
blessing
schedule,
and the
right?
curse. But I will say, in some of my conversations with marketers and others, one thing that continues to sort of like stand out that comes up over and over again is using measurement and insights to get smarter about creating an emotional connection with your end consumer, right? Like that, that seems to be a theme that I've heard here and at other places this year as well too.
How do you articulate the value of brand to consumers that are, or to clients and brands that are more performance focused, that think about the bottom of the funnel as the holy grail? ROAS, cost per acquisition, LTV.
Right.
Without a healthy brand and without a brand that people care about and are emotional about, none of those other things matter.
Yeah, see, I think they both matter, and I think that they both matter more now than ever before, because I think more and more consumers now are making purchase decisions based on brands that align with their values, their beliefs, so on and so forth. And that's the brand, right? Like, and you know, that's the perception of who you are as an organization, and then that leads to the lower funnel metrics. I don't think you can separate the two anymore. I really don't.
No, I like it. All right, well, if folks want to continue to follow along with your thinking and or learn more about MarketWatch, where do you want to send people?
Yeah, so if you want to learn more about MarketCast, just look me up on LinkedIn. All good. MarketCast, just look me up on LinkedIn, Kerel Cooper, and happy to connect.
Amazing. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, man.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.